The lighting could be better, but we gonna get what we get at the time that we are in right now. So good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in this wide world of YouTube. What's good? What's good? What's good? My name is J.S. Torres, aka Right Brain Boricua. All right. So you see the title, you see what I got set up here, right? So if you would like to be on the panel of my platform, of my show, let me go ahead and pull up the chat link. There you go. That is the link to the chat. Let me know. Also, let me know where you guys are tapping in from. I always like to see like where my viewers are at. Don't forget as you come in to the show, the stream, leave a like, subscribe if you are not already subscribed. Um, Notify, hit the bell of notifications. All right, all that good stuff. I am still very new to this. I am still, even though we are now, this is episode number 6, right? Episode number 6. But I have done, this is my 7th actual episode. I had to do a part 2 to my conversation with Ashley Dalton, who is a more established content creator than I am. I will give her that. I will give her flowers. She is one of the ones that is useful in this space and everything like that. So yeah, come on through, leave a like, leave a comments in the chat, of course, and let me know if you guys can hear me very well. I know as far as like seeing me, it's kind of dark. I need a light that overhangs the my computer here or my laptop here, and then I need some microphones. So y'all can bless me with the Cash App rolling on the bottom. I don't mention that enough on my platform, on my stream. So I'm going to mention it a lot today. If you feel generous, want to be generous, if you want to be part of the show, that's the link right there, the StreamYard link. All you got to do is uh, pull that up and hit the link. I will see you in the back, and I can pull you up whenever I am ready to do so. All right. But yeah, if you are feeling generous, of course, bless me with a cash app. It is $ JNST 3319. Again, there you go right there. $JNST 3319. Okay, so I only have a couple of hours to do this, so I'm not going to be as long-winded as I want to be because if I do have guests, I do want y'all to be able to be for me to pull y'all up and we can have a conversation. So this episode, right? I'm going to how can I say? I'm going to be candid. I'm going to be raw. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real about my dating experience in Atlanta, in the state of Georgia, because your boy was up there for 2 whole months. 2 whole months up there on a work assignment trip. Um, you know that it seems like that's going to be my ritual uh, for the summers for the foreseeable future, unless a huge opportunity comes in. Let me do this real quick. Give this overlay. There we go. Now, people, I'm streaming on StreamYard and everything like that, but like, But yeah, so there was another one I was gonna do. Bear with me, y'all. So let me know if show comments. There you go. That's what I wanted to do. Like I said, that's the StreamYard link again for those of you that want to hit the link. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Don't hesitate. There was a time where like I was, on other people's platforms and like, you know, they had the link there and let me keep it up real quick. And I was like, yo, is this so do I just click on this and then I'm gonna be automatically in the show? Well, not automatically, but you get put in the back and I will see you that you had clicked on and I can pull you up at any time. So be ready. Uh, you don't have to be on camera, okay? You don't have to be on camera, but before I put you onto the stream, at the very least, cam up so that way I know, number one, you're human, and number two, I know that you're not doing some fuck shit, right? Okay, because like I don't want to get my channel, strike and everything like that because of y'all. All right, because I work hard to give y'all some dope content to give y'all some realness about what I got going on over on this little tiny corner of the YouTube space. And once again, I appreciate you guys coming on. Do me a favor, leave a like. Okay, like the stream because every like it means that it's going to be pushed out into people's algorithms, and that's my main focus right now is to try and get get my content out there, get views, get likes and everything like that, because once that happens then subscriber count come up. I have reached 30 subscribers so far, so there's no set goal of I want to have this many subscribers by this date or whatnot. It's just simply come on in. If you like what you hear, you like what you see, hit the like, subscribe. And also, if you really like what you're hearing and seeing, Cash App is scrolling right on the bottom. Bless your boy, $JNST3319. Once again, $JNST3319. Okay, I think, a little housekeeping, right? More housekeeping, I should say. Friends and amigos, right? If you would like to be part of an episode, um, send me a DM on Facebook, on YouTube. Well, YouTube doesn't really do DMs, but I have my other socials linked in the description part of this live stream. So you just go down in the description box. The links are there. Hit the link, go to my socials. I believe it's my Instagram, really, and send me a DM. We can make it happen. I am efforting a few people to talk about my next episode 7, which is going to talk about the travel ball, amateur baseball versus professional baseball community. So stay tuned for that. That's a little bit of a teaser for you for my next episode, especially my experience with the travel ball up in the Atlanta area where I was at for the past 2 months. So I'm going to deep dive into that, hoping to have a coach and a couple of other people that are lovers of the game, that are friends of mine in my personal life. I extended an invitation to them to be on stream, so stay tuned for that. Don't have a time, don't have a actual time and date to make that happen, but it will be happening in the near future. So stay tuned for that. Of course, that not it. You subscribe to my channel. Also hit the notification bell so that way. Now here's the thing, right? Y'all won't know I'm live unless you hit that notification bell. So that means that anytime I hit the live, right, your phone will get a notification, your tablet, your device, what have you, will have a notification saying, hey, JS Torres, Right Brain Boricua is live right now. Tap in, tap in, and y'all, tap in. All right. So that's coming up within the works. I'm also am doing another episode about dating and relationships because those are like my two niches that I do. I'll do an episode about baseball, then I'm gonna do an episode about dating, or I may combine it. Who knows? Because um, those are kind of like things that I am most passionate about. I am going to talk after I talk about my dating experience in Atlanta. I am going to talk about the Shakari Richardson situation. If you have not heard about uh, the former Olympic gold medal winning track star Shakari Richardson, her and her boyfriend got into a domestic dispute, argument, hands were being put on and all that at an airport the other day. So I'm going to react to that, and I'm going to tell you something right now. Y'all want to tune in on that because I got some things to say about that. Okay, so y'all bear with me on that. But we're going to first talk about my experience dating in Atlanta. So, the get this down. All right. Amigos, friends, as you may or may not know, the dating market is a huge market. Okay. You pretty much make it what you want it, what you want it to be, right? So I'm gonna tell you this, right? So when I went to Atlanta a couple months ago, right? My thing was I was already seeing someone that lives in the Atlanta area, right? And knowing me, right? I and I've said this before on platforms on my channel as well, is that I am non-monogamous. Okay. I don't subscribe to monogamy. I don't believe monogamy is for me. I don't believe that monogamy is for a lot of people in this society. I don't think it is. I think people are just hiding the real truth be, just to hide feelings or make sure you don't want to upset anybody or what have you. But this whole nature of cheating and people trying to do stuff behind backs and stuff and do some trifling shit. I'm not like that. So I really, and I know the lighting is bad, but you're just gonna. It is what it is. I wanted to go live today. I wanted to get this get this off my chest so that way y'all can see like my thoughts, my candid thoughts on the dating market in Atlanta. And it is a huge market. It's a huge city. So of course, a lot of people. And I'm gonna tell you something, right? With that being a big city and having a lot of people, there are a ton of women in Atlanta. A ton. And I'm not exaggerating when I say a ton because even with me like being outside, because I was outside, okay? And as you know me that when I have a chance to go outside, I go outside. I hang out. You know, I participate in activities, adult activities, to keep it YouTube friendly. Okay, I am part of the lifestyle. So there is going to be a lifestyle component to this. I can't really say anything too graphic or too like deep because this is YouTube. And I know that for some reason, keywords YouTube doesn't like. And that's why I decided to really do most of my content on YouTube instead of like a platform like TikTok, because I know you have to watch what you say on TikTok a lot more than you do on YouTube. Um, so yeah, um, I'll just start out by saying this, right? There's a ton of women in Atlanta. I believe the ratio is about 30 women to one straight man. And again, this part I may be exaggerating a little, but you hear this all the time about Atlanta is that, there's not a lot of straight men in Atlanta. It's a mecca for LGB, the alphabet community. Okay. Miss Lady Zyrax, hello. Glad for you to make it on. Zyrax, if you want to be on, hit the link. The link is in the chat. If you like, we can talk about this together. I'm talking about my experience dating in Atlanta. As you know, Zyrax, my first couple episodes were filmed in the Atlanta area. So, and you know what? I got to shout out to you, you and the Riz Goddess, Cami. I know I probably butchered that, but I was on her platform yesterday. Obviously, you were on as well. And shout out to her. Like she's doing great. She's doing great numbers over there. I'm just trying to be like her. I'm just trying to be like you, Zyrax. I'm just trying to be like, all these great content creators and everything like that. So Zyrax says, sorry for running late. No, you are right on time. I haven't even gone to my dates yet. So you came in just in time, sweetheart, and I appreciate you coming in. Um, so yeah, like basically what I was saying is like Atlanta has, I think the ratio really is about 30 women to one straight man. And when I say straight man, because like I said, with the alphabet community is so strong when it comes to the Atlanta metro area, and what a lot of women complain that there aren't that many straight dudes. Now, I just say this: I don't think there are any straight dudes that they like. To be real with you, that they like, because you have a lot of established. I'll say established women in Atlanta, right? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Yep, appreciate you, Zyrax, coming on. But I just say this, right? There are a lot of boss types, boss babes, go getters, a lot of moving and shaking going on. Like Atlanta, you cannot be stagnant in a place like Atlanta because you will lose. Okay, and I had to learn this in my 2 months there is that um, you gotta be doing something, or you just not gonna get by. So I enjoyed my time up there. It was pretty nice. I worked a lot, but I also was outside a lot. And so let me just tell you, right? I have been on actual dates with 4 women. All right, I had only time for 4 women. And then out of those 4 women, and let me just say this: out of these 4 women, um, all of them are great women, right? I have no hard feelings or ill will, like you know, between all these women that I've dated. But really, it was just a simple fact that, like, it's a numbers game for us too. For the straight men in Atlanta, like, you got to realize that. See, thankfully, I'm not a monogamous person because I can date multiple people and keep track of, all, like, it's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a man, like, it is not that hard to keep track of the women that you're dating. What makes it hard for men is the financial component, right? If you now, I will say this, right? From a financial perspective, I did not have to spend a whole bunch of money on these four women that I dated. Now, I believe three out of the four, um, I paid, and the fourth one was mutual, right? It was we just well, I bought her a drink, and then she had bought me a drink as well, and then we went from there. So it kind of washes out that way. But my thing is that if you are a man of integrity, you are a man of, organization, right? Because you gotta keep them organized, right? If this woman is available, then you gotta make sure, because like I write down in my calendar like when I'm going to go on dates with certain women, right? Because I have to be organized. If you're disorganized, and if you're dating multiple women, that can get very cloudy and very messy, right? I don't know what just happened right there, um, but yeah, it can get very messy. So I try not to be as messy, right? So I'm gonna start with and yes, I'm only gonna give first names because I'm not going to out them like that, but I'm going to give you the first name so that way y'all can have a clue on who I'm talking about, right? Okay, the first lady, her name was Kanitra. Kanitra was a 40, she's in her early, I won't say her exact age, but she's in her early 40s. We went on two dates. Um, I forgot what she did for, and that's the thing, like my memory is bad. So like if I know that what the thing that stood out about Kanitra was that she drove a white Tesla, and I got a chance to ride in the Tesla for the first time in my life. I've never been inside a Tesla before. So that was, kind of nice. Even though, the ride was only like not even 10 minutes, but those 10 minutes that I was in the Tesla, it felt nice. It felt, I felt like a passenger prince at the time. Not saying that, that's what I want. I want to be a passenger prince and all that stuff. That's not what I'm getting at. But what I'm getting at is, um, it was nice for her to kind of like, um, well, here's the thing, right? We met at a lounge, a daytime lounge. It had like mute, it had like live DJ, and that's the thing about Atlanta. Like pretty much everywhere you go, especially on the weekends, like there's gonna be a live DJ. There's gonna be hookah. There's gonna be drinks flowing, brunch, you name it. Like most of these spots in Atlanta are infamous for that, and that's what I like. And I wish we had more of that culture down here in the Tampa Bay area where I'm at. But that's the Atlanta culture for you. It can't be unmatched, right? In my opinion, right? I haven't been to a lot of big cities, but I feel like that is part of Atlanta's culture. Like that is part of like what they do. On weekends they brunch. You know what I'm saying? Like so, I had some time on the weekend, and I met up with her. Well, actually, and here's the thing: like she sat down, and I kind of asked her, "Hey, are you with anybody? Are you saving a seat for someone?" Because she sat not next to me, but the next chair over. And so I went and I was like, I did the initial approach, right? But it was easy, right? It was easy for her to come, have her sit down next to me, and we just started talking right then and there. We just started talking, and we became very interested in each other. And so, we started our first date right then and there. We didn't waste any time. You know, we just went right to it. And she is a beautiful woman, right? And everything like that. Very fit, friendly. But the feminine part, I will be honest, I'll be real and say the feminine part didn't, it did not align with what my definition of feminine that I want in a woman. I'm gonna just be real. All right. But I gave her a chance. And Zarek says, interesting. Yes, this is interesting. Like I'm glad you're here to listen to this because I got some tea for you, right? So she was interesting in the fact that like her looks, right? Her looks got her in the door with me. She was nice. So that was also a great quality to have in a woman. Women, be nice. Like come out when, especially when you're out, by yourself. Like stop, having your guard up. Stop, with this whole like, everyone's out to get me, and I'm gonna be kidnapped and killed and stuff. Like we have, like this is 2025 now. I get it that these types of things happen throughout people's lifetimes, right? And especially for women, like, and especially, but this was during the day, right? This was on a Saturday during the day, like everyone was outside, whatever. And like I said, she was great, but there were some things that were lacking. She was a boss babe type. She was someone that was kind of like it's my way or the highway, even though she wants a leader, she wants someone that can kind of like um how can I say this? Like she and I remember her telling me this, like she told me that um she is the type that she wants for her man to pretty much do everything while she does nothing, right? And that's something that kind of bothers me. I ain't gonna lie. That bothered me a little bit because how are you going to have a great job, a great career, you got money, you move, she moved from Texas to Atlanta, and we kind of was talking about the whole like Atlanta, like the ratio thing, you know what I'm saying? Because like I was her, so ever since she moved to Atlanta from Texas, I was like the second or third guy she went out with, and all the other guys she went out with, like they weren't go getters, they weren't guys that like I would think that she wants to have a say, but also she wants to sit back in the background and let the man do everything, but yet she wants to have her say about, what I'm saying? Like it can't be both ways, I feel like I feel as though like you can have a say in something, but then when he does what you say or whatever, that bothers you. You see what I'm saying? Like I would feel like, you know, we would be more compatible if she lets me uh do like be the leader that she wants me to be, but also um but also like she can lead as well, right? And that's where I feel like they will, we will be great together, right? In that aspect. But unfortunately, after our second date, we went on a second date to a restaurant, to a nice restaurant, had dinner and everything like that. And that whole date, like it was just the conversation was good, but we butted heads a lot. It was a lot of like back and forth between men and women, like male nature versus female nature. And I did tell her that I'm not monogamous, so she was still wanting to date me because of like my personality shine. Like I could tell that she was interested. I can tell that she was like wanted to, try this out. You know what I'm saying? Like try out a new thing to her that, how does it feel like dating a man that knows that he wants other women around and is not afraid to disclose that from the very beginning, which I did. A lot of y'all dudes don't like to disclose that, I'm not, you'll lie and be like, oh, I'm only dating you, I'm only seeing you, you're the only one I ever care about, this and that. Bull fucking shit, right? We got to stop with the cap, okay? And let these women know, like, listen, y'all need us more than we need y'all because there's a lot more of y'all than there is us. Let that marinate for a second. In Atlanta, especially, there is a lot more of y'all than there is a lot more of us. So now, I will say this, right? That being said, okay, I am open to just being with one woman. I am open to that. But here's the thing, right? My biggest thing is that I want her to have kids. Or I will want or let me take that back. I want to have more kids. Okay. And now I'm not. Damn, she wrote this in all caps. Zara, you wrote this in all caps. Majority of women are not open to poly, JS. You are absolutely correct, Zyrax. You are absolutely right. But I gave her an opportunity to walk away. Okay, I gave her opportunity to walk away when I had mentioned to her within like the first 10 minutes of us meeting and talking that, hey, listen, I'm not a monogamous person. So take that as you want. You know, you can move on to somebody else just as simply because I know that I have a disadvantage when I tell women from the jump that, but would you rather me tell you from the jump or wait until, you know, months down the road and, you finding out that I'm talking to someone else that, oh, by the way, I'm not monogamous. At least I give them that. At least I give these women that mercy of, look, it's up, the ball's in your court now to whether or not um, you want to pursue me or not after I say this. And she wanted to pursue me. Believe it or not, Zyrax, she wanted to pursue me. So we kept on, we talked, and like I said, the reason why I myself, I myself had to end it after um, date number two is like I said, she was very bossy. She was very uh, basically she didn't want to hear my thoughts and my points and what I believe can be a good successful relationship with or without the monogamy or poly, like, that's besides the point, right? I'm just saying, like, just simply like what my role is as a man to you and what her role as a woman is to me. We weren't connected, and I figured that out during the middle of our second date. But I guess I was too nice and just let the date end and like just let each other go. And then, you know a couple of days later, I texted her and I was like, you know what, I don't think this is gonna work. I did enjoy my time with you, but unfortunately, uh, we in a match, and that's okay. And honestly, that's the first time in a long time that I had to turn a girl down. Now, not to say that I'm proud or I'm like, beating my chest like, yeah, I turned that bitch down. What? And what? Nah, I ain't, it wasn't none of that. It was just simply like, listen, you know, I think you'll be more suited with a guy that is more, I guess, submissive, so to speak, or either a guy that's more submissive or a very, very dominant person to which, you know, it could end up in problems down the road with that. Because a lot of these very dominant men, and you can tell, right? In their personalities that, they don't take, they don't take shit from their women, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Zyrex, for women to even consider poly, the man must be a high value. Okay, so this is, and Zyrex, I would love for you to hit the link and we can kind of like debate this, right? Not, and I'm not saying that debate as in like you're totally wrong. I'm gonna kill any type of thought process or any type of points you may have. Nothing like that. I just mean like a debate as in why the man has to be high value. Now I'm not in total disagreement with man being high value, but does the high value have to mean financially? Does the high value have to mean personality? Does the high value have to mean he has to be a certain stature or status? Because I think we were talking about this yesterday on the Grizz Goddess Cammy's platform. Is that um, when a woman cheats, she usually cheats up, like having the man be bigger, taller, all that towards her man, or to the man that she's cheating on her man with or whatever. So I just believe that while you do have a point, right? Must is a strong word to use in this instance. I don't believe a man must be high value for women to consider. Now, I will say this. I will say this. I have seen and I have experienced lower value men, I guess you can say, um, end up with multiple women as well. Hell, you can even see homeless people, bums out on the street corners, getting women. Like it, and that's my counterpoint. I wanted to make to you is that okay? Sure, high value. It looks better, you know, on paper, right? And I think you said this too. Oh, hold on. Okay, cool. High value HVM status and money. Now, all that can look good, right? But how's his personality, Zyrax? How does he treat you? How does he listen more than he? Because we know a high value man, he's gonna speak, and as a woman, you're gonna listen. But does he listen to you back? Does he shut his fucking mouth and let you speak on something, and he's actually listening? A lot of high value men don't know how to listen to their women. So, having said that, is it feasible for you to have a high value man that's only about status and money? See, I want to look at, see, I believe I'm high value because of my charisma, because of my integrity, because of my honesty, because of my communication skills, because of what I can bring to a woman that isn't finance or isn't money or isn't sex. There is valuable shit in that as well. So, you know, that's good of you to do that. I believe you were talking about me letting the women know up front that hey, like and honestly, right? Like we met in a setting that was like pretty wide open. Like it was a code approach. Let's just be real. It was a code approach. I pretty much cold approached her. She came in by herself. She had a seat at the bar. I noticed her, and we got to talking. That's you know me, like it wasn't an event catered to certain love styles, or it wasn't a certain type of setting that these type of people that I could be more compatible with come in, and um, we can hit it off that way. It wasn't any of that. It was just a straight cold approach, to which it was cool. But again, like I said, Kanitra, 2 dates, but unfortunately, we were a match at the end of the day, and that happens. All right, you got me, but you're gonna speak more on it. Okay, I can honestly, I can't wait. I can't wait, and I appreciate you, Zyrax, for uh, tapping in with your lovely comments, and all your comments so far have been great. Like, keep them coming. And for anybody else that may be out there too, don't forget to come as you're coming in, like my videos. Likes are free, so please, pretty please, like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, notifications, right? I don't see. I'm not like a lot of these content creators that have schedules to go live. Like, this is not a career for me. This is just a hobby. So I'm not monetized, not yet. Hopefully, down the road in the future, I will be. I gotta get the subscriber count up. Gotta get the likes count up. Gotta work. And I'm in the process. Early on in my YouTube journey. Only 6 episodes in now. After this one, we are slowly but surely climbing. I got my girl Zyrax. She's in the chat. I need more lady Zyraxes out there. So y'all, help me help you, and also bless me with the cash app. $ JNST is on the bottom scroll. JNST 3319 is my cash app. Y'all, let's move on to Mimi. And this is the second lady I met in Atlanta. I met her at a what's called a munch. So, um, oh, I wanted to announce this on my YouTube platform too, by the way. I am creating a munch. Now, if you don't know what a munch is, I'll explain in a little bit, but let me get to this first. I am creating a munch if you are in the Central Florida area, meaning the I-4 corridor. Okay, if you know, you know, right? Tampa, Lakeland, Orlando. Those are the three cities that combine the I-4 corridor, because I-4 not only begins in Tampa, but it goes through Tampa and goes through Lakeland, and obviously goes through Orlando. So if you're in the Central Florida area, the I-4 corridor, and if you're not a 9 to 5 person, meaning that you don't work a 9 to 5, you are a third shift worker, you work overnights. I used to do that shit for years. It's a grind. Um, if you are a work from home type of person, if you're on vacation, or if you ain't even got no job, all right, I got a gathering of people in the lifestyle, or not in a lifestyle. It doesn't matter. You can not be in a lifestyle. I'm opening up. It's all inclusive, right? To anybody that can bring the vibes, right? We're just gonna hang out, talk some shit, and eat some good food and hang out. So a munch is basically a hangout of people within the lifestyle over food or drinks or both, because that's why they call it a munch, because food has to be involved, of course. Now, what I can say is that my munch in particular is going to happen in the middle of the day, so pretty much within the lunchtime to 12 o'clock hour to 6 o'clock hour, that window, those 6 hours right there. But it's not going to be 6 hours long. It's just going to be a window of a few hours that you get to come, hang out, and have a good time. I am rotating these munches, so like I said, there's going to be one in Tampa, The first one will start on September 24, 2025 in Tampa. Um, Second one will be in October. I believe right before Halloween. I'm trying to do these munches the last Wednesday or the Wednesday before a holiday. So like October, you have Halloween. I'm gonna try to do it right before Halloween, that Wednesday before Halloween. November will be in Orlando. I am thinking either I'm not gonna do it the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, but if there is another Wednesday in November that falls before after Thanksgiving, then that will most likely be that day. I haven't looked at let me look at the calendar real quick. Let me see if November if okay. So November 27th is Thanksgiving. So I'm not gonna do it on the 26th. What I am gonna do, probably more than likely going to do it on the 19th of November. So like a week before Thanksgiving for the November month in Orlando. So if you're in the I-4 corridor, Tampa, Lakeland, Orlando, those are the three locations, and they will be rotating. So y'all stay tuned for that. More information will come as the days get closer. Zyrex says similar to a brunch. Yes, it is very similar to a brunch. It is um, actually, you gotta think about it. I am doing it like a brunch because it's going to be like during the day. Uh, because a lot of these munches, so to speak, are in the evening time, right? But what I am going to implement is probably like a happy hour type of vibe. So like, let's say around like 4 p.m. to around 8 p.m. or whatever. I might do a window to have people come out after they get done, working or whatever, to come out, have a drink, whatever, unwind, and all that. So yeah, it is similar to a brunch. Yes, you're right. So yep. All right. So that was my announcement right there. Let's move on. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And bless your boy with a cash app. $ JNST 3319 is my cash app. So, all right. So Mimi. So Mimi was an interesting one. We went on one date. We went on a late night date, and let's just say that the date went very well. And we had some fun. She is a fun. So my thing with her was she is fun. She was a good time. She was not for a long time. Okay. And we kind of both knew that. But, and to be real with you, I just think that she wanted me for my dick. Yeah, I said it out loud. I think she just wanted me for my dick, and that was it. Because after our encounter, we didn't really talk much after that, which I kind of feel used. I kind of feel like I shouldn't have given my body up to someone like her if she was like only out for that. I'm joking. Okay, we both knew that like we were going to have fun because she is in the lifestyle and um, she enjoys sex. You know, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I enjoy it as well. Um, and so when you have two people that enjoy sex and the vibes are right, and y'all are hitting it off, it is what it is. It is what it is. But nah, Mimi's cool. We never really got to hang out after that one day. So I just feel like with that, right? Now, let me just say this. Right? I'm gonna get very close. I don't want, these walls are thin. in this room, right? Okay. I'm gonna look right in the camera. I'm gonna look at y'all. It's okay to date if you want to have fun. Having said that, having said that, let your intentions be known from the jump. She let her intentions know. I let my intentions know, and that's how we got to it. I never saw myself marrying this woman. I never saw myself being in a serious relationship. You know what? I kind of take that back. I kind of did at first, I'll tell you this: the night that we met, like we didn't really talk to one another because we met at a munch. Okay, that I aforementioned a munch, and we didn't really speak to one another during that munch, but we got a chance to talk towards the end, and you know what? I was kind of interested. I was like, hey, let me get your number. We'll link up. I'm here. I'm new to the town, so come show me around, type shit, whatever, whatever. And that's how that happened. But Mimi was fun. She was probably the most fun I've had throughout my experience in Atlanta. Um, but we both knew that it was probably going to end after our encounter. And her cat gave me allergies. She has a cat, and the cat gave me allergies. So, me, allergies happen a lot, especially if I'm somewhere where there's a pet, because pets bring a lot of allergens and everything like that. Hair, dan, all that dander, I guess is what it's called, and all that shit. It circulates the air. I breathe that shit in. Yeah, it's not a good time. So basically, yeah, long term probably not gonna work out, but short term, had a lot of fun. All right, moving on. Uh, the third lady I dated in Atlanta, her name is Ruth, and Ruth wasn't really someone that I went on dates with. Ruth was basically someone that uh, kind of like Mimi, but unlike Mimi, um, she was more of a hookup. Okay, which I guess you can call Mimi a hookup too. But my point is that Ruth was more like, you know, here's who I am, take it or leave it. You know, I'm a fun girl. I just want to have fun. She already has, uh, well, she's single, but she's got a what we call a play partner, and the play partner and her have been together for a long time and everything like that. So she is good. She is set. I was just another, I guess, another dick to fuck. Let me just, not to sound too crazy, but I was just another dick to fuck, and that's okay. It's more acceptable for men than it is for women to just be another thing to fuck on. Now, we did connect, right? And we did, um, when I say connect, I mean like we talked, we got to know each other. Same with Mimi, we talked, we got to know each other. We like sex wasn't even mentioned until like later on in the conversation. I'm talking about at least an hour into the conversation. Like I don't bring it up, she doesn't bring it up. It just naturally happens that way. Like something within the conversation would trigger her mind or my mind to be like, oh, is that what you like? And then like go from there. But you know, Ruth is cool. I fucks with her. Next time I'm in Atlanta, we will definitely hang out and you know do some 420 activities. If you catch my drift, trying to make it YouTube friendly, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, and I know that like you know, JS, is it really? Are you really dating these women? I am because it's me that is investing my time, my energy, and my finances to hang out, to have some sort of like rapport and connection with these women. I'm so surprised. Wow, dating market has. Yes, it has. I wouldn't even say a bit. I would say a lot. I would say a lot because again, it's about the two individuals and what they want out of the situation, right? If it's um, long term, if it's short term, if it's just to play with, if it's just to go on a deeper connected level. It's just so many nuances to dating. Like we can't really uh and I'm gonna discuss this as well in future panels with other content creators. So don't you worry, Zyrex. Like I am going to am I here? Okay. I approach dating very differently than a lot of people out, which is why I'm right brained, right? Part of me calling myself right brain Boricua is that I'm left-handed, so I use the right side of my brain a lot. The right side of my brain is different from a lot of people's normal way of thinking with their left side because a lot of them is right-handed. You know, it's fascinating. But yes, dating market has changed, and I'm just adapting to it. Like if I meet a woman and she tells me that I'm not looking for anything long term, I'm just looking for fun. If I'm looking for that too, all right, let's have fun. If I see her and I'm like, you know what? Because men, we do this too. Like we classify women in categories like, fun girl or someone that I want to have fun, but also I should also look at her for possibly long term. And then there was the ones that you just connect with on an intellectual, in a like a sapiosexual type of uh type of mind frame. So like, um, and those are the ones that like you want to keep long term. If sex happens, awesome. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Like I am newsflash, I am a very hypersexual man, very hypersexual. Like, but you wouldn't know it if you would have met me in person because I know how to control. I know how to hide it. I know how to not give off that creepy vibe of, oh my God, like a horny ass dog that wants to hump your leg as soon as you see them. Like I know how to hide that shit. I know how to conversate. Like conversate. Let me tell you something, dudes. If you don't take anything away from this live, take this. Conversations is paramount. Okay. All right. I'm an hour in, and I gotta get through. Um, I got two more ladies to talk about, and then I'm gonna react to Shakari Richardson. So stay tuned for that. All right, Zyrax. I see you commenting. I see why body count is high. What do you consider high? What do you consider high? Is it over 10, over 20? Like, what do you consider body count is high? And that, if that's for men or women or both. I'm left-handed. Oh, you left-handed too, Zyrex? Hey, this is my left hand. High five for that, Zyrex. High five. That's what's up. So you understand we think a lot differently than right-handed people. We really do. Our we're I don't know if you ever did this as a kid, but I used to write pretty much all my letters backwards. I don't know if you did that, but I met like other lefties, and it's funny like how we used to write, how we were like, little kids and try to write. We used to write everything backwards, and then like when we had these like spiral notebooks, like I'm gonna tell you, I hated those spiral notebooks because those spiral notebooks did not cater to lefties because they had the spirals on the left side of the book, and my hand, like this part of my hand, would hurt. It would be so sore because I had to write, on that, and it's painful. As a kid, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? So, nice. Oh, except writing. Uh, you know what? I saw that you said I'm left-handed, and I just stopped reading, and I was like, hell yeah, is that right? Yeah, she's left-handed too. Yeah, but maybe I should just read the whole thing before I react. So that's on me. With everything except writing. LOL. So I'm gonna take my high five back. You didn't struggle. You weren't in the trenches when we struggled writing shit with our hand hurting like a motherfucker. And you're just like trying to avoid those spirals because like you didn't want to hurt your hand. And then like you had smear marks in it, especially writing in pen. Like when you write stuff and then like the ink is not dry enough, so like the ink can smear on the bottom of your hand. Yeah, you ain't go through, if you're not left-handed, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You ain't go through that struggle. But shout out to you. Although I can write with my left hand, it's just not using my right. Okay, so so you're pretty ambidextrous. So I am learning how to throw a baseball with my right hand, and I'm kind of getting good at it. I can't throw long distance with my right hand as I can with my left, but at the very least, I'm getting there. Over 10 is a lot, but I'm old school. Over 10 for a man, or over 10 for a woman. Well, I'm not gonna assume. I'm not gonna assume. I'm not gonna assume. Let me know if you're talking about 10 for a woman or 10 for a man. Okay. Not that she's gonna come up. I don't see you in the back or anything like that. But if you do, let me know. I'll pull you up if you want. I only got about an hour left. I only rented out this room for a couple hours, so I gotta get to this lady in the bar that I met. There's a place in Atlanta called Johnny Hideaway. Johnny's Hideaway. Went there one night by myself, just hung out, took in the environment, and I'm gonna be quick on this one because she was just eh, met this girl at the bar, sitting at the bar. Beautiful black lady comes up, and you know, now I think what it is that me and her were probably the only people in that bar. It was a predominantly Caucasian place. Okay, nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. But we both noticed, like, damn, we probably the only people of color in here. So let's get to know one another. Hey, my name such and such. What's your name? This and that. Okay. And we had a conversation and bought her a drink. Now during that drink, this is where I knew I was in Atlanta because I met one of them. Dum, dum, dum. What's one of them, JS? What do you mean, one of them? One of them modern ass women. I'm strong. I'm independent. I don't need no man. My man needs to be a provider. My man needs to do this. My man needs to do that. Oh, okay. So what do you want in return for all that? Nothing. You get this. You get this in return. And I'm just like, Really, sweetheart? So if I'm busting my ass, I'm providing, I'm doing all this, and when she meant by provider, she meant someone that has money, 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 money. That right there, not not interested. Not interested. Sorry. Like I had to get up from the bar after I finished my drink, and I was done. She seems like a nice woman, but she's gonna be one of those. She's gonna be forever single. And I forgot her actual name, but she's lucky. That she's lucky that I don't remember her name because yeah, like I didn't really want to call her ass out by name anyway because really we spent about maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Well, I wouldn't say bad. Like there was no like we didn't fight or anything like that, or like it wasn't no like dramatic. Like just simply like, yo, good luck finding a sugar daddy. Like what you need is a sugar daddy because what you're talking right now is like, I want a man to provide, 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 and you're not providing anything back, but just you know, I'm a, and she looked like one of them trophy white types. Like she had a long black dress on, long blonde. I want to say a wig, but I'm not. I don't know. It was blonde, and it was down like past the shoulders, and it was dark, so I couldn't really tell um, if it was a if it was her real hair or not. So I didn't want to assume, but my assumption is that that was her hair. But that's besides the point. You know, whatever. The point is that we didn't really connect because she sounds like a gold digger. She sounds like someone that she's gonna, you know, trap a man out of his money, and that ain't gonna be me, sweetheart. I care about my money. I care about who I give it into. And someone like you, now it becomes a transaction. What you're saying right now it becomes a transaction. I want a transaction. So what do you transaction back to me other than your smile and how you look? Because I need more than that. I do. So and so that was the third. Well, I kind of don't even count her, but this one I am going to count. The last woman I met in Atlanta towards the end of my 2 months, her name was Kay. She goes by Red Mocha, which is a alter ego. Say what you say what you want about that. But we also went on one day, and she was more of a hookup. I'll admit. So hookup culture is, is thriving. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Despite what a lot of women are going to say out on the internet or even in real life that they're not hooking up, they are. And I'm not gonna put too much of her business out there, but let's just say that she was also visiting Atlanta, and she was also looking for some fun. And I believe and I think in a nutshell, like that's what dating in Atlanta is really like. Like it's just really a hookup city. It really is. Like okay, you coming now? My apology. No, listen, Zarek. No apology needed. You're good. You're good. Nah, like whenever you can. Like I would love to have you up, but whenever you're ready. So no apologies. But um, but yeah, like I feel like Atlanta in a nutshell is a hookup city. It is very much so. Um, I think that if your intention is to get married and settle down and find that special someone, I'm not going to say Atlanta isn't the city for you, but what I am going to say is you might Atlanta shouldn't be your first choice or second or third. You know where I'm going. Like you should go there to if you're going to date, like just be very mindful of the fact that um, these women are go-getters. These women love to finesse. These women love not to say that I got finesse. Like I can say that throughout the whole 2 months there, like I did not get finesse. Like I was smart about who I wanted to spend my money on. I was, very aware about the situation and everything like that. But like, but yeah, like I just think that like if you are intending on going to find a wife in Atlanta, now there are wives in Atlanta. Don't get me wrong. Like there are married couples there, but those are the minority. You don't know how many women I've seen in Atlanta that have empty ring fingers. Ring finger there. I want to say I want to say like 75 to 80% of the women in Atlanta are probably not married. Now I may be a little exaggerating, but but yeah, like I just think that there is there's not too many wives in Atlanta. And a lot of well, I would say this. Like when I say wives, I mean like you're wearing your ring proudly. Like like you're showing the world outside that you are a wife. You are wearing your marriage ring. Because there are some wives out there that don't wear their ring, to which that's uh, let me just say is very odd. But you know, it is what it is. So, but yeah, let's move on. I want to react to Shikari real quick. So let me see if I can do this. By the way, like the video, subscribe, and notification bell and all that. Don't forget. Okay. So let's see. I still don't see you, Zarex. If you are in the back, let me know. Um, oh, just as I said that. Just as I say that, let's welcome in Lady Zyrax in the building. Hello there, sweetheart. How are you?
How are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. How's it going?
Okay, good. Everything going all right. How about you?
I can't complain. Everything's pretty good. Trying to pull up Shakari Richardson. I know that she is very the name is circling around these spaces because of what she did at that airport. So I'm going to trying to remember how to do this. Bear with me. But
Take your time.
you wanna tell my audience or the audience that will be catching the replay like who you are, where you're from, and your relationship status for us?
Yeah, well, I'm Zyrax. I've been in this space for about almost I would say a little bit over 2 years, but then I've been on YouTube for a long time. Just like in the clouds though. Like I don't it's only been the last 2 years that I've been active, as in, like chatting with people in the chat and getting to know, content creators and stuff like that. Um, I am in
Hmm.
my late 30s. I'm married with 3 kids. I've been with my husband for almost 13 years, and I I know it doesn't really make sense for like a married person to be, in this space, but um I like having conversations with people, and like I just figured like whatever suggestions or solutions that I could help, um that like I tend not to give out like how do you say, unsolicited, advice, but I'll just say this, like one of the reasons why I'm here is because I just want to be part of the conversation.
So what do you think
Oh, and I'm
about
a stay-home mom. There you go. Sorry.
stay at home mom? That's why
Stay-home mom, stay-home wife. Yeah.
that's why you are able, right? Stay at home wife as well. Let me correct myself as well. Stay at home mom, stay at home wife. That's why you're able to, you know, be around YouTube and be around these spaces and talking to us and everything like that and giving
Yes.
your perspective on things. And I feel like your perspective is very welcoming, especially in my teeny tiny little corner of YouTube. But nonetheless, I really appreciate you coming on, jumping on to my episode six episodes down. My
No, it's a
time
pleasure.
dating. What's that?
No, I say it's a pleasure. Yeah.
Of course, of course. So, so what do you think about my dating stories from Atlanta? Do
Pretty
you agree?
interesting, like I said.
Do you agree that well, I don't know if you ever been to the city of Atlanta before, but do you agree that I feel as though Atlanta is more of a hookup city than a relationship type of city. Even though I have met people that are in like long term relationships and stuff that are from Atlanta, but I feel like it's more of a hookup type of city than a you know being serious, settling down, and all that stuff.
I think that it goes to I think that's the case for like any major cities, like even LA, Miami, Atlanta, Manhattan. They all, it seems like they all have the same, like the hookup culture. And so any place where there's like a lot of people, I think it's it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of options, you tend to want to explore all those options, right? And so I think that's just, I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily say it's maybe it's like nature of humans, but um, but in a way, it sort of just seems so. Like, because when you think about like third world countries, or even not even third world countries, even like here, if you live in like suburban areas where people are a little bit more spread out and stuff, they tend to have that culture of, yeah, settling down, having kids and stuff like that, because there's not that many people, concentrated in one area. But if you're in a big city where there's, yeah, a lot of people, a lot of options, you want to explore all those options, or as many options as you can. I'm sorry. I don't know if you could hear me, but I can't hear you. There you go. I can hear you now.
My apologies. My dumbass had
Okay.
myself on mute, and I did not unmute myself to respond to what you said. So, duh. Anyways, what I was saying is that now I gotta remember what the fuck I just said. um, basically, yeah, like I was saying, like we come to a point in my life or a point of the woman's life to be like, hey, like I don't really want anything serious. I just want to have fun and like, and you know, that right there, like to, I guess, I want to say a lot of men, but to, I would say a selective amount of men, like that's music to their
Hmm.
ears. Like, oh, you just want to have fun. I want to have fun too. But then is like, um, is that really your intention? Like, is that really like what you want? You know, out of the grand scheme of things, and like, I guess, and I'm guilty of it too. Like we don't really, I guess, put that on the forefront of our minds, but
Hmm.
we can
I
also
totally agree.
but we can also like um, afterwards, like we can like think back and be like, okay, like you know, that's what you wanted and that's it, or like, because like in Mimi's case, like we were hitting it off, like we were like I could see myself like going on multiple dates and like being like something like becoming something, right? But like I guess and with women especially, like they change their minds more than they change their panties. Like they can tell you one thing and like 2 minutes later it's something totally different. Like it's what they do is what they do. You know what I'm saying? Because like there's a bunch of
Yes, we're
emotions, there's
very
hormones.
indecisive. Yes, we're very indecisive beings.
Yes. So and like I said, it's understandable to me because like I grew up with three older sisters, so I learned firsthand at like at 7 or 8 years old, like oh my god, like I got some crazy ass sisters because like you know they were like one was like 7 years older, another one was eight, and then the oldest one was around like 12, 13 or 12 years older than me. So like it was like a big gap, and so like
Oh, wow.
and yeah, like I would see them like date men or boys at the time when they were like in high school, like going into college and stuff, and like you not and one of them's passed on, God rest her soul. But like, I know
Oh,
that in the case of like one of my sisters, like she had a long term relationship before she passed away, but it was toxic and it was on and off. Like, and it was her basically like cutting it off. Okay, a week later, oh, I want to get back with you, or like a couple months after that, we're breaking up, and then a few months after that, well, we're about to get like it was just so like indecisive, like you said, like she did not know what the hell she wanted, but what she did want was that person ultimately. But I guess that person was not doing enough or not satisfying her needs, whatever the case. Like, and she's not here to talk about it, unfortunately. But I will say that that relationship stressed her the fuck out. So like I did not want to see like seeing that, as growing up and stuff, I didn't want to go through that. Like if we're gonna break up, then we're gonna break up and we're gonna break up for good. Like there's no like spinning the block and anything like that. There's none of that. So like I just think that and this goes for men too. Like we can be very indecisive too because like I said, we do have a lot of options, especially in this. Like I said, in Atlanta, I had options galore, and that's why I was able to. If I wasn't feeling the first girl I mentioned in this, I wasn't feeling her like that. So guess what? That option has been, it's expired. So now I'm moving on to another option, or like I'm surveying my the shelves. Like it's kind of like being at a grocery store. I'm looking for a certain product that I like. Yeah, I'm gonna pick this one and keep it around for now. But then I see a better product, and then I go back and put that product back on the shelf, and then pick this one. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I think it's the same with both, men and women too. Um, the thing, mm, the thing is that you have to know yourself first and foremost. Like, what exactly, you're going inside a store. What exactly are you looking for? What is it that what is the reason why you went to that store in the first place? And a lot of times, I don't think marriage is the outcome that people, especially nowadays, it's what it seems like. It's not what they want. Then they're not wanting, marriage, or maybe they do, but maybe like years down the line, and they're only thinking about the present moment. And so, um, you know, like I said, I've been, in this space for a while, and yeah, I would go back and forth, push back on certain content creators and stuff. And what I realized is that sometimes, like, just because like I'm married, I'm assuming that everybody is trying, um wants that outcome, wants that, oh, find their perfect one, and settle down and get married. And I don't think that's the case anymore. Because before that was the thing, right? That's what you're taught, that, you grow up and you're supposed to, finish high school, some go to college, find a, career, and then, yeah, find your spouse, get married, settle down, white picket fence, and all that. And, people are, especially, our generation, you know, um, they feel like they don't need to do that, that they could just have fun and, um, yeah, hook up, date, don't even have to get married. They could just live together and have kids and stuff like that, and grow old together. So we're finding out that, yeah, there's, more than one option. The old traditional option of, getting married and stuff like that. And and yeah, people are just doing that. They're just, doing what they want, exploring their options, which I don't, of course, like, I don't judge, do what's best for you, but just be careful, how you move around in this world, because like
There
the
we
one
go.
thing you
There we
can't get
go.
back is time. So just use your time wisely.
Wise words from Lady Zyrax. All right, I love it. So I got to get to this Shakari
Go
Richardson
ahead.
thing, and I'm going. Let me know. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, with this whole, because I know I was struggling the last time you was up here, trying to like share and everything like that. But I think I got it. Shakari Richardson. I guess she broke her silence. Well, not really breaks her silence, but she came out with a video discussing what happened. And yeah, we're just gonna. This is from the Breakfast Club, so fair use. That they, I'm just trying to use y'all for a little bit of content. That's all. So fair use. But
Hmm.
let's play it.
Richardson has come out and
Oh,
she spoke on
why
the
can I
domestic
not hear it?
violence
Can you hear that,
arrest
Zarek?
that we saw
Yes.
go down last week, and took some accountability for different things. Let's take a listen to Shakari.
Hey y'all, it's Shakari,
Shakari.
and more than anything, definitely a lot of
Yeah,
self-reflection,
I was
a
about to play.
lot of understanding of not only putting myself in a compromised situation, but somebody that I have a deep care and appreciation for as well is something that holding myself accountable. I'm taking this time to not only see myself, but get myself a certain level of help that overall is going to reflect who I truly am in my heart and my spirit. I want to be more, not even just for myself,
Oh,
for
my bad.
my
All right.
family, for my family.
For some reason, I cannot hear it, so I can't really make out what they're saying in the background. But let me.
Oh, really? I could hear it just fine.
Yeah, that's weird that you can hear it just not fine, but I can. Even I put the damn thing up. So, um, but anyways, I don't have that much time to mess around with this, but I'm pretty sure you've heard of what happened with Shikari Richardson. What are your initial thoughts about the incident at the airport and her, I guess, half-ass apology? I'm gonna just be real. It was a half-ass apology. Like, I don't think that she held herself accountable, even though she did apologize, quote unquote. I feel as though you can apologize, but also you can apologize while holding yourself accountable. And I
Well,
believe that she didn't hold herself accountable.
what
Go
exactly
ahead.
did she do? Like I'm not too sure on the, what she did at the airport.
Okay, so she put her hands on her boyfriend. They were both traveling together. They started arguing, and I believe there's footage. So I'll go back to uh, and I'll play it more. Even though I can't hear it, I'll let you hear it for yourself. So here we go.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And overly appreciate y'all supporting me and
Yeah.
showing up and even holding me accountable to being my best self. I refuse to run away but face everything that comes to me head on because everything on the other side is greater, but you got to go through in order to get there. I appreciate y'all and y'all be blessed.
My bad girl, Shakari. I know she hates when people get her name wrong.
She corrected you in real time.
Yes, I love that. But yes, so she spoke out. I thought that this was very admirable of her because when the story broke, of course, she's at the top. Everybody knows her. She's a huge, world famous athlete. People, when a story like this breaks, it spreads so fast. And a lot of times, teams and the organizations, they don't comment and they tell the athletes to say nothing and just let it go away. So when she posted this video last night, I was like, oh, wow, she's so human. I feel like we've been growing with her throughout her career. And this is one of those moments where we're growing with her through something that we saw happen in real time.
I respect the fact that she acknowledged her behavior, but I just want the record to show it is a double standard. Because if a man did something like that in the airport and then turned around and just did a little video like that, y'all would be dragging him to hell right now. You wouldn't be on this radio sounding so understanding.
He would have lost everything
about the situation.
Yes.
Oh, please, gone.
We don't know what she might have lost behind the scenes. We have no idea. There was a video that came out. You saw it on video. We don't know.
If Lauren don't know, then somebody lying. Okay,
you got a point.
Every sponsorship would have jumped out the window and said we are no longer working with them.
But can we acknowledge that there is a double standard?
Yeah, there is a double standard because I will say when I saw the headline last weekend, for those of you guys who don't know what happened, just really quickly.
And it was a video.
Yes, so Shakari and her boyfriend Christian Coleman, who's a sprinter, they were in an airport, and the authorities in the airport were called because they said, oh, there's a disturbance between these two people. In the video that was released after the story came out, you see Shakari, he's trying to like get around her and almost like walk away from her, but she's like, she shoves him into a wall, then like she throws something. They said that it was headphones that she threw. So of course a police report was taken, and she was arrested and all the things. But yeah, I thought we were going to hear sponsorship conversations and all that stuff as well. And then the next thing I saw was this video.
Well,
I do
God
acknowledge
bless her.
the double standard.
There is definitely a double standard because y'all. I'm telling you, so Guy would have did that. It'd have been World War III on social media, and then the day to put out an apology like that, y'all wouldn't even be accepting it.
And then to be honest with you, listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
What?
That used to be me. Not in the airport, but fighting them niggas. What's up?
And you've grown.
Put hands on
Like what? Just the moral of the story.
Oh, we doing a moral?
No, I'm just saying. Like
Okay.
I want you to say you've grown.
Yeah,
and
I've definitely grown. I'm reformed, but I used to be boxing them up too.
Yo, Chris,
What's
blink
up?
twice if you
What
need help,
happened?
man. I don't know. I'm not.
No,
It ain't
I'm
Chris.
not like
Chris is
that
her
now.
piece. Chris
Gotcha.
is her
Yes.
piece.
Chris is my
I've been
She's
there.
different with
I've
Chris.
been there. I feel you.
You know what
I've
I
been
mean?
there. Yep.
She's very feminine with Chris. Like, oh my
Yes.
gosh.
It just sounds like they're yapping about whatever. I don't know if that's true or not, but
No, yeah, they told the story about what happened.
yeah, like so basically, yeah, you're at the airport. And airport is like the most public place you can go to, right? You're traveling, you're
Hmm.
like you're trying to try to keep the peace at least, because like there's a lot of people coming in and out. Like you're, you know what I'm saying? There's cameras everywhere. So why,
Mhm.
as a track star, as a gold medal winning Olympian, right? Well-known name within the track and field world. Why would you resort yourself to not only putting your hands on your boyfriend, but also like trying to act like you didn't do anything wrong while you're being apprehended by the police? Like that is insane to me. Like how, and it just goes to show like once again, and I know Zyrex, you're a woman, but I feel as though like you're a woman that is kind of like me. You hold people accountable no matter what their gender is, or no matter, you know, oh, but she's a woman, we got to give grace and all that. No, like I'm not doing that right in this platform. This is my God honest truth, is that like the fact that she was being so cooperative and so like, trying to talk her way out of being arrested, while her, and I'm gonna get on the boyfriend too, because I got some shit to say about him too. But for her is, why, number one, why are you putting hands on someone knowing that he's probably not the type to put his hands back onto you? And even if he did, obviously society's going to hold him accountable right then and there, because you're at an airport again, you're very much in public. Like if a man is pushes or swings on a woman, then everybody's going to come after him. But as
Yes.
we didn't see the footage here, but you're going to see like the footage. No one tried to like tell Shikari, yo, chill, like, back off, like what you doing, like, you know, you're hurting him. You know what I'm saying? So like, give me your thoughts on that.
Well, first and foremost, please, you know, men and women, kids. Like we tell kids, keep your hands to yourself. I don't understand why adults can't do the same. Keep your hands and feet to yourself. If someone hits you, it hurts. So what makes you think that if you hit somebody, it's not going to hurt them? So yeah, keep your hands to yourself. You know, second, like yeah, this thing like it just boggles me because first of all, she is like she's a celebrity. She's a um not only a celebrity, but that you're an Olympian. You're supposed to put yourself on a well, people do see Olympians like on a higher how do you say it like we would expect
Higher
that because
standards.
you're an Olympian. Yeah, we would expect you to behave be above um above everybody else. We would expect you to conduct yourself a whole lot better, especially in public. Now, whatever you guys do behind closed doors, that's, between y'all, that's private. But when you're out in the open, when you're in public, yeah, you're supposed to just, just like, yeah, just behave. Whenever we,
So
talking about stuff, I get, tongue tied because it's like, I can't believe I have to even say this, that I get, I get
so
confused,
the, so the,
I
air,
get,
so the
go
airport.
ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was gonna
No,
let
go
you
ahead.
finish. I thought you were done. I'm sorry. So the airport
No,
had
no,
this footage. I don't know if you can see
no.
it. Can you see it on your end, Zyrax?
No, I only see, DJ Envy.
Oh, okay. How can I take him up? Okay. Bear with me just 1 second.
Hmm.
Uh, let's do this. Uh, the footage. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. How about now?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the actual footage for those that haven't seen it. So I'm gonna play it. So, and they got the arrow here. You see, like when when is that ever? When is this ever okay?
I mean, that's never okay. Because she really shoved him, huh?
Like multiple times. Like she is putting her hands on him, and he is just simply trying to walk away, not trying to escalate it even more than it should, and she is not having it. Like, and I find it funny because like she was trying to be incognito about it, to which like this is just kind of like scary to a point to like, all right, that's enough of this. It's just scary to a point to like, she's not trying to be seen, right? Because she's a, famous athlete, but also she's not trying to be seen as, a woman, you know, because of how she's dressed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she's like if that arrow didn't say Shikari on it, I probably wouldn't know. I probably thought it was a man pushing up on another man. But now we all know that it was her and she's like the aggressor. Like, you know, when is like when are we going to like if let's say if he would have backhanded her, right? What would have been the fallout of that?
Yeah, he would have gotten in trouble, even though, like she, like, provoked him and stuff like that. And he hit her back. Yeah, like he would have definitely gotten in um big trouble.
And the whole that's the whole point of all of these guys, including myself, and a few women
Yes,
out
I
there
understand.
too, content creators. I don't know why it keeps happening. We have had enough of women trying to, bully us, trying to think that they're, and I'm gonna tell you something, right? Female Olympians and track stars and stuff, they're and softball players and like female athletes, period. Like they're they can be overly masculine, I would say, right? Because they play a sport or they're doing something for their career that's you know masculine. You know,
Yes.
that's just
Uh-huh.
for lack of a better term, right? And like, and we get that, right? We like me, especially myself. Like I get it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all for like women. Like just the other day we had in Major League Baseball we have had our first woman umpire ever. And I was
Oh,
on
wow. Okay.
Facebook praising her because she's a colleague of mine because I'm in that same industry. And I never worked with
Oh,
her, but to see her ascend from calling Division I softball to now, being at the highest level of a professional sport, like that's
that's
big ups
amazing.
to her.
Hmm.
Like great for her.
Yes.
But but if you look at her, right, she is overly masculine like that, like most of these types of women. And not to say that like all those types of women are violent or anything like that. I'm not saying that, right? But what I am saying is that like as a man, when you are in a relationship with someone like a Shakari, you at times are like the submissive one, and she's the more dominant one because that's pretty much all she's used to. Like like I said, she's overly masculine. And let me get on the guy real quick, right? The
Go
boyfriend
ahead.
who
Hmm.
afterwards he wanted to play it like nothing happened. You know, that that happens sometimes, this and that. I still love her, this and that. What are you doing still with her? Like, even like, I wouldn't have taken no questions from the reporters. I would have just went away, gotten away, and never speak to her again. Because that type of behavior, if she is doing that in public at an airport, out of all places, what makes you think that type of behavior that she's doing behind closed doors? Think about it.
You do have a
Like,
point. Yes.
if you have somebody committing domestic violence to you in public, what makes you think that that same behavior is as worse or just as worse behind closed doors? And as far as I recall, this isn't the first time that this woman has because of her aggressive, I would say, not violent, but aggressive behavior. So,
Yeah.
I
That's
don't know,
tricky
because
because women,
I don't know if you're still
we
there,
do want to
Zara, but
compete.
like, I
Yeah, I'm
gotta
still
hold
here. Can
him
you hear me?
accountable too, because like, he is just, I no, no, no. This like, for him, I think he likes being like, there's men out there, and me being in the lifestyle, like, there are men out there that love for women to degrade them, that love for women to beat them, and tell me how much of a sissy I am, this and that. Like, there's men that like that type of shit, and I think that he's one of them, because if he's able to come up and talk to reporters, because he's a Olympian as well. Like, they're both like Olympic track athletes, if I I know Shikari is, but I think the boyfriend is as well. So y'all are blowing it out of proportion. Like, we're good, this and that. We got into an argument, but it's cool now. Like, nothing to see here, bro. Like, this is the problem. Like, this is exactly the problem on why these incidents of domestic violence. This is why men don't report, or this is why men don't speak out more about these types of things. If you're getting abused, whether it's verbal, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whatever, you just gonna stand there and be like, "Oh, it's okay. I still love her. We gonna work it out. That's still my girl." And this is why. And th- I
I
really
I
don't want to
understand.
bring race, but especially with black men, this is why black men are going to continue to be at the bottom when it comes to this type of shit. And when it comes to, oh, you think that your girl's beating you, of a guy saying that he doesn't care that his woman pushes on him, slaps him around, curses him out. Like, am I right or wrong, Zara?
Um,
You have the floor.
no, I'm speaking just in general. I totally understand what you're saying. Yes, women, we do tend to
There
because
you go.
we know that you got yeah, like if you guys hit us, that you guys could get in trouble, and so you guys will hold back a lot of times, and so we take advantage of that. Like, I do get that. We'll push you, we'll say the most nasty stuff to get you guys pissed and stuff like that. Even though we don't want you guys to hit us, but then yet we want to provoke you guys because we feel hurt. I totally get that, and I don't condone that or anything. I'm not saying that's um that it's okay. However, I will say that a lot of time the reason why men don't report is because yeah, they either they love their woman, or that it's they don't see her as a threat. You know, you guys don't see us as a threat
Technical
because you
issues,
guys
some
are
Wi-Fi
you guys are
issues here.
physically stronger than us. You know, I'm sorry.
No, no, no. You were breaking up a lot, and I kind of like it. You were talking, and then it broke up, and then you were talking. So like I was like, well, we're having some issues on it's
On
on
my
my end.
end
I
or on your
I
end?
I think
Oh,
it's on
okay.
my end, but no, on my end over here. Like
Oh,
like
okay.
the Wi-Fi here is spotty and stuff. So like you know, I don't know why it's doing it now. Maybe it's it does time to time. But yeah, like um, I just think that like, and I gotta run in about uh 3 or 4 minutes. So um, is there anything you want to end on? Like, is there any like parting words that you want to talk about when it comes to this episode itself, or uh, the Shakari Richardson situation? Go ahead. You have the floor for now.
Keep your hands and feet to yourself, and um, and I'll come back again, of course, and we could talk more on the that poly question. And of course, thank you for having me up here.
Yes. Of course, I appreciate you coming on. Yes, we will get to that at another episode. I promise we would do that. Thank you, Zarex, for coming on. And thank you guys for coming on. My time is up here. I have to head out. But on your way out, like, subscribe, notification, all that. This has been episode 6. Let me know what you think in the comments. Comment away. I'll read every comment. I'll respond to every comment. All right. So that being said, JS Torres, Right Brain Boricua. Adios.